Hi, I'm Lauren Weiss, and I'm a junior, a Women, Gender, and Sexuality Studies major. So here's my question. In April 2008, the Committee on Sexual Assault submitted a proposal for an Office of Sexual and Relationship Violence, Education, Prevention, and Support to deal with the epidemic of such violence on our campuses, as on all campuses across the country. Why does WashU, unlike the vast majority of our peer institutions, still not have such an office? Most of those offices have been around for years. We still don't have one, and that's really ludicrous, given such an office's potential to provide vital educational programming and critical support for victims and survivors on our campus.
Well, that's a very good question, and those in our community are very concerned about the well-being of all of our students. Sexual assault is a serious problem, and we've had unfortunate incidents of sexual assault during my chancellorship. I believe that the safety and security of all of the members of our community is a concern. We both have personal responsibilities as well as a responsibility institutionally to make this the safest environment possible. In terms of sexual assault in particular and educational programs and prevention programs, we have had efforts. We have not yet appointed a sexual assault coordinator. I've given that responsibility to Vice Chancellor for Students Jim McLeod, who is working with Dr. Alan Glass to develop appropriate programs for our community.
The initiative to hire a sexual assault coordinator was back in 2007, I believe. Why has it taken so long to find someone to suit this job?
I'm not sure it's a matter of taking a long time to find a particular person, but developing the right programs and developing the response that would be appropriate for our setting has taken some time. I don't believe that one can vest in any single individual a responsibility of this scope and expect that that will eliminate the problem. I think it's a problem that all of us share. It's a problem that, unfortunately, in many instances that I'm aware of, stems from the behavior of the most intimate members of this community, our own students. Sexual assault by students against other students right here. Some among you may still remember my academic convocation presentation as you enter Washington University. I've indicated that the use of alcohol is a serious problem, and that the use of alcohol complicates some of these issues. And I believe that many of these kinds of challenges come together. And that's why I've asked Vice Chancellor for Students Jim McLeod to be the point person in developing a comprehensive program to deal with this element. I think that every campus faces the problems, and there are challenges in the abuse of alcohol that seem to be enduring. A lot of approaches, including Washington University's approaches, have been frustrated. We haven't made the kind of progress we would like to see.
In the meantime, what is the university doing to quell that kind of behavior? There's the alcohol element, of course, but there's, societal behavior. Is the university doing anything to rectify that among its students? Are you working with any of the student organizations on campus, like Sarah or Uncle Joe's?
Well, we're working with all of these organizations and efforts, but I believe that the problem, for example, with abuse of alcohol does lessen as people move along in upper class years. The experimentation with alcohol early in college experience is more serious than later. But the programs of education begin right at the beginning. Some of you may remember taking the educational program that we offer online before even arriving at Washington University.
Do you feel that Alcohol EDU, which is the program that some students may be familiar with, do you feel that it has had a beneficial effect as far as the number of incidents on campus?
I think it's helpful, but it has not eliminated the problem.
Okay. And what are you looking forward to accomplishing within this problem in the future? What's your goal as far as this problem goes?
I think in terms of sexual assault, I mean, we should strive for what I would call a zero tolerance. Eliminating that problem would be the objective. We are also in other dimensions of safety and security hoping that we can eliminate crime and especially physical assaults. But we know that this is going to be an ongoing problem. It's not the kind of problem where you say, let's have a special project, and when it's done, the problem will be solved. We're unique among institutions and have a situation where we bring in a new group of students every year. About 25% of the undergraduates leave, so we're bringing in every year new people who need to come to understand our expectations of the community.
WashU's pretty renowned for having a lax alcohol policy. It's definitely not as stringent as, say, some state universities. Are you looking to change that in accordance with your new position on sexual assault, or?
I don't think we're going to be making any radical changes in the alcohol policy. We've taken steps during my chancellorship to limit the use of alcohol at events such as WILD, and I think those have been effective. As Chancellor, I have to say to you that one of the greatest concerns, a young woman asked, "What's your greatest fear?" It's being interrupted in my sleep with a telephone call from our emergency services to report a tragedy with a student. And oftentimes those tragedies are associated with alcohol abuse.
All right, thank you. Next question?
Ready.
Somebody